Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about a change that the Washington Commanders are making to their defense that I think could really help this defense go to the next level. Also, I'll be giving you guys an injury update, talking about some good Jamin Davis news, and talking about Chase Young's availability for this week. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. It takes 1 second to subscribe, guys, and it's free, so please do it. Okay, so let's first start off with the change. So Nikki Jabal said this. By McCain is the Commanders' slot cornerback going forward. Ron Rivera said this is a byproduct of Derek Forrest playing really well. They really want him on the field as much as possible. I absolutely love this move so much because, you know, they've kind of had a little bit of a hole at slot cornerback ever since they made the adjustment to put Benjamin St. Juste to the outside, which I think is a great move. But then you kind of had a mixture of Rashad Wildgoose and Danny Johnson there. And, you know, those guys played okay at times, but they definitely did get beat. So you needed someone new there. And also, you needed to get Derek Forrest on the field because he's been an absolute beast this year. He has 2 interceptions, has a forced fumble, had that one forced fumble against the Colts that really helped them. Like, without that forced fumble, they probably don't win that game. He had the recovered fumble against the Eagles last week after Benjamin St. Juste punched out. Like, those are absolutely huge plays that he's made so far this year that have definitely helped them win games. He's been a good tackler, good in coverage as well, and he's just been an all-around really good player. And it's crazy that, you know, Cameron Curl and Derek Forrest, they were both, you know, Cameron Curl is a 7th round pick and Derek Forrest was the 5th round pick, and both of those guys have been absolute studs. Like, the defense the first couple weeks without Curl was so much worse than without, then once he came back, it was just a lot better. And then you combine that with William Jackson III being benched and some other guys stepping up, the defense has really turned it around. And I absolutely love this move because Bob McCain has played slot cornerback before in this league. A lot of Dolphins fans were saying that that's where he played his best at in Miami, was when he was a slot corner. So you have him as a slot guy, you have Benjamin St. Juste and Kendall Fuller as the outside guys, and then Derek Forrest is your free safety and Cameron Curl is your strong safety. And those guys can, switch ups. You know, Cameron Curl can play free safety and Derek Forrest can play strong safety. But I think Derek Forrest will be the free and Cam Curl will be the strong safety. But I absolutely love those 5 players. Like, I think that really makes sense, and I think they really gel well in, totality. You have Cam Curl, Derek Forrest, Benjamin St. Juste, Kendall Fuller, and Bob McCain. You just switched up the positions a little bit, and I think it really makes sense, and I think that's a great adjustment by the Commanders. This adjustment couldn't necessarily have, it could have, but it would have been hard to make it earlier on in the year. But now with benching William Jackson III, benching him a while ago and trading him, and the emergence of Derek Forrest, it allows you to move Bob McCain to slot, which is something we've talked about for a while. So I think this is going to help out the Commanders' defense, and I think he played a little bit of slot last week, but we'll just see. It might take a little bit of time to adjust for him to play slot, but in the long run, I think this is going to be a great move for the Commanders, and it's something that, like, now you have an amazing safety duo in Derek Forrest and Cam Curl. So I absolutely love this. It's PFF, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But Cam Curl is now the highest graded safety in the league by PFF with an overall grade of an 82.6. The number 2 safety is Derek Forrest with an 81.7. So those guys are playing well, and there's no way you couldn't have Derek Forrest playing 100% of the snaps. Like, having him play 60, 70% of snaps is just criminal. He's one of your best defensive players, and you have to have him on the field at all times. So this move allows you to do that. And I think that's a great adjustment by Del Rio, Rivera, and them. And just props to them for that adjustment. Some Jamin Davis news. This is what Rivera said in the press conference today. And I'll just read the tweet from Kime. Another step in Jamin Davis's growth. He wore the green dot versus Philly. They've seen steady improvement from him this season. Goes back to week 1. Jack jumped, Rivera said. He said they realized that's what they should be doing all along because Davis responded well. And that is something that I mentioned when Jack Del Rio called out Jamin Davis. And then Rivera kind of did a little bit later. I was like, this could go one of two ways. One, Jamin Davis, because week one, Jamin Davis did not play well against the Jaguars. And maybe this, he doesn't respond well to this at all. He gets frustrated and, doesn't play well. Or he could be motivated by this and, take it the right way and be even better and respond to it. And that's why, I didn't like how Jack Del Rio did it and Rivera called him out. But I understood why they did it and kind of, because nothing was working up until that point. And it was only a year and a little bit of a change. But doing that is, switching up a little bit, I thought could have made, progress things a little bit. And, maybe it did. Maybe that's why Jamin Davis has responded to the coaching and stuff. But Jamin Davis has been a lot better than he was last year and even week 1 and week 2. He's gotten better. Is he perfect? No. He's still missing some tackles in the run game, but his coverage has been solid and his tackling overall has been better. So I'm really liking how he's progressed, and him wearing the green dot, calling the plays on the defense, that is huge. That is huge for sure. And that just shows his progression a little bit more. And I'm excited to see how he continues to grow over the next, couple years, but more importantly, over the rest of the season. Once Cole Holcomb comes back, I think that could help. This defense, guys, in 2-3 weeks could look, it already has been pretty good, but it could look even better when you have, if you think about it, Chase Young possibly coming back. So your D-line is going to be Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Montez Sweat, and then your linebackers who, are amazing, but Cole Holcomb is solid and Jamin Davis is much improved and turning into a good player. Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb. And then your corners are Benjamin St-Juste, Kendall Fuller, who's been playing much better as of late, and Bob McCain, and then Derek Force and Cam Curl. That is an amazing defense. That is a top 5, in my opinion, unit that could even be better depending on how well Chase Young plays. Chase Young could bring this defense to a whole another level if he is what we wanted him to be as the number 2 overall pick. Might take him a few weeks, but by the end of the year, if he's who we thought he would be when we drafted him, this defense could be top 3. It really, really could. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but this defense has improved week by week. They allowed, 21 points to the Eagles, and 7 of those were off 7 of those don't really count in my opinion because they were off of a fumble from Heineke, which wasn't even Heineke's fault, where the Eagles got the ball at the 10, 12 yard line or whatever, 20 yard line. And then Benjamin St-Juste had a questionable PI penalty, which I didn't think that was, which gave him the ball at the 2 or 3 yard line. So the defense played well. And it's been playing well. And, before people were saying, oh, it's against bad teams. Well, they just played the Vikings and played the Eagles and held them to 21 points or under for both those teams. And in both games, the quarterback had a turnover, which, positioned the opposing offense to have the ball in the red zone. So, it's been even better than the points show, in my opinion. So, having Chase Young back within the next couple weeks, hopefully, and then Cole Holcomb, he's progressing a little bit. He's still out for this game. They're declaring him out for this game, but the last couple of days, he's actually been on the field working on the side. So that is, he's progressing a little bit. And then in terms of Chase Young, this injury, the way they've handled it, something's fishy to me because not the timeline somewhat makes sense because it's not just a ACL injury, which, is about 8 months is usually what it takes. Some people are less, some people are a little bit longer, but it's a little bit more of a complicated one, and I understand that. But it seems like ever since they had the opportunity to activate him from the PUP list to, start his 21-day window, it would be for the first couple weeks. It's like, okay, the reports were like, okay, they're probably going to activate him on the PUP, and then it doesn't happen. You wait another week, and then it doesn't happen, and then they finally do it. And the first week, it's pretty much understood like he's not going to play that week. And then the next week, they're like, the beginning of the week during the Eagles game, it was like most people were reporting that he was probably going to play, or most people thought he was going to play. Like JP Finley on his podcast said like 75-80% chance he plays. I think that's what he said. And then by the end of the week, it's like, Friday, Saturday, it's like, okay, he's not playing. And then on Monday, when it was like official that he wasn't playing, Adam Schefter puts out a tweet saying Chase Young will not be activated today, but he will be making his debut against the Houston Texans. And then Ian Rappaport put something out similar, and some other reporters put out something similar. And then now they're putting out tweets saying Chase Young will likely not be activated this week, or not even that he won't be activated, because he can be activated like Ben Stetic says here and not play, but they're saying that he's not going to play. Very likely not going to play. So I don't know. It's really weird how and it's not really by the local reporters either. It's kind of the national guys. So I don't know if there's kind of like maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's happening, because someone is obviously feeding these guys this information. So I don't know if it's the coaches or maybe it's the agent from Chase Young, or Chase Young himself. I don't know. But someone is kind of leaking this out to Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, and they're doing it for a reason. So maybe Chase Young and his people feel like they're ready to play, and that's why they said it on. They told Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport to say that on Monday, and then now that they don't, Rivera's basically hinted that he's not going to play and stuff like that, then the reporters kind of backtrack. I don't know. There's still a chance he does play on Sunday, but it's looking like a low chance. Ian Rappaport reported that. Ben Stanek earlier today kind of said likely he doesn't play. So it is what it is. I'm getting frustrated by it, and I understand that they're trying to take their time with it, but I just want to see Chase Young back on the field. And then each week you delay it is another week where he's not going to be back fully, because if he was to play this week in the Texans game, he would be on a snap count. So then it would be another week, or maybe even 2 other weeks, until he's fully healthy, until they bring him fully back. So now, if he doesn't play against the Texans, well, he plays against the Falcons, but he's going to be at a limited snap count, and then you're going to have to wait another week or 2 until he's really back. So I don't know, starting to get a little bit frustrated by it. It is what it is, though. I understand. And if he misses this game, right, they have until Wednesday to activate him. But just because they activate him, they could activate him today. And if they do that, that just means he takes up a roster spot, and they can still have him inactive and have him out for the game. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there with Chase Young. And that was a little bit of a rant, but it is what it is. And then the injuries, Holcomb, McKissick, Armani Rogers are out for this game. Cole Holcomb, I think, is progressing a little bit with that foot sprain. Don't know which foot it is, but I think there's a shot he comes back next week. If not, I think he'll be back the week after that. McKissick, have no idea. Honestly, have no idea what the neck, if it's the same injury as last year, if it's, he re-aggravated it, if it's been lingering this whole time, or if it's just a new injury, but it's concerning for sure. And I don't know why they haven't addressed it, put him on IR or anything, and because he's taken up a roster spot, so they must think there's a chance he comes back this year, or else they would have put him on IR. And then David Mayo, Jonathan Williams, and Christian Holmes all questionable. Hopefully all those, it would be nice if all those guys would be back, but Christian Holmes and David Mayo would be nice, because Christian Holmes has been good on special teams, and David Mayo, the Texans are good at running, and David Mayo is all right as a run defender, so having him back wouldn't be bad at all, especially with Cole Holcomb still out. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Tomorrow, we'll likely be streaming, previewing the game with my guy Rio Robinson, so make sure you guys come for that. Peace.